Hey, how we doing? It's Kenny Bartell here, just checking in with you guys. Happy Father's Day to a lot of you. I apologize. Thanks so much. I apologize for getting so many people on the Joey Voices show yesterday on 1510 a.m. WMEX. Um, Sorry. Thanks for all of you that decided to tune in to sacrifice your day to listen to what I had to say. I felt that I was flat. I had a lot of things happening. um, between have you ever been through the experience where you're on the phone with somebody and you can hear your voice in the background and it just kind of throws you off? That's what that's like inside the studio. So it's a little. I must have had my headphones on too high because this was really tough. So. But it was great. Unfortunately, Joe wants to have me back again, so I can definitely hit the ground running. But some of the people I forgot to mention were, Dr. Jim Locke, who created the device and the procedure that helped saved our daughter, Dr. Diego Porras, who was part of that team, as well as Dr. Marshall, who also helped put in the device in our daughter's heart to help stop the ASD, the atrial septal defect between the four chambers of the heart. And Dr. Lang and Dr. Kulik, as well as Jamie and Michelle, Amy, the nurse Maura, the nurses there, and so many more of you that I apologize I forget the names of, because it's just going through that situation is just so overwhelming, and it just really kind of, you don't have time to really think about much, and memory was just, I mean, it just was such a crisis. You're in crisis mode, and you're doing everything you can to will your daughter or your son or your wife or husband or whatever. I mean, in our case, it was our daughter, obviously, that to recover and to beat the odds. I mean, when we had every single doctor come in and say, we're going to see what we can do. We're just going to have to wait and see what the next 2 hours determine. We dealt with that for just about 3 weeks, and I'm saying every single day. And through that, we had moments where, right after her first surgery, she coded, which means that, she was dying, and a resident and the nurse that was taking care of her at the time. Again, the resident, I can recognize his face, I just can't remember his name, and I feel horrible about that, because these people helped save my daughter's life. These people gave me so much happiness, blissful happiness. I mean, to share in these moments with our daughter. I mean, like, prime example of our little girl. My wife and her were out the other day. My wife stopped to get a coffee, and she had the windows down in the car. Avery wanted to see what was going on in the transaction that was made, because she's 3 and into learning about absolutely everything. Gosh, her questioning is, like, incredible. It's funny. So anyway, my wife gets the coffee, and the girl says hi, and, this and that. So as I start driving, my daughter says, "Oh, I miss her." My wife says, Who do you miss? And she says, "That girl back there." She goes, "Avery, you don't even know her." "Yes, I do. She's my friend." She says, "Well, what's her name?" "Coffee," is what Avery says. I mean, she's got an answer for everything. Now, because of these moments, or actually better yet, because of these people doing what they did and actually taking pride in what they do in their job. And there's an old expression, if you can't take pride in your job, what can you take pride in? So true. I mean, that's key fact. If they weren't paying attention, they wouldn't be doing, you know what I mean? Like, there's a good chance things could have been a different way. And think of us, all of us are going through all sorts of crisis, and we're all, I shouldn't say crisis, but all sorts of situations. And, I mean, a lot of these nurses and doctors, I mean, they have families, they have things going on, much like everyone else. So, they got to get the clothes to the cleaners, and, whatever, you know what I mean? There's always some kind of challenge that we're going through, and those people really help bring such happiness in our lives. And I wanted to make sure that I mentioned something to them, and unfortunately I didn't. I forgot to say Happy Father's Day to my own dad. So if you are listening, Dad, hey, Happy Father's Day. You did so much for us growing up. I mean, me with the Phil Esposito hockey puck and the CCM skates, and all the countless hours of playing baseball with me, and the pop-ups and the grounders. And listen, because of that, I did really well. In the minor leagues, with growing up and stuff, and major leagues and all the tournament teams. So for that, Dad, I'm very grateful. A lot of good lessons you gave us. I forgot to mention my stepfather, who used to be the mayor of Brockton, was in Governor Weld's cabinet when he was governor. Just a an all-around incredible guy, just such a benevolent man. A few of my uncles, my uncle Dave, damn it, Dave Delgado, I love you, bud. You and I have had so many really deep conversations, a lot to do with post-traumatic stress disorder, which has really and truly helped me and shaped me into who I am. So, I'm very grateful. Drew and Jeff, you guys, like, I can't say enough how inspiring you guys were at an early age for me. So, my Uncle Joe, who passed, another great man. Doug Heffer, I mean, bud, the older brother, I've always dreamed of. So incredibly grateful. So, my countless friends, I could go on for hours, truly. And you guys know each other. I mean, I spoke with all you. I meant to mention your names, and I'm sorry that I didn't. But, just know that, I was thinking of you guys. It just was so much happening, and you only have so much time. And, the way that they were trying to move the show around, and there was a lot happening, so it's really difficult to get through something like that. So, but now that I get through the accolades, I'm sorry. Thank you all for actually listening and being so patient, even listening to this video. The point I'm trying to drive home is the Will Smith story, and Joe and I were talking about it, about Will Smith, and he does so many impersonations and stuff, and to watch him work is just amazing. Like Joe is just. Being in the studio with Joe is just incredible. He's just a really great guy. He's just, I mean, you just can't help but love the guy. I mean, he's the type of guy that they give you the shirt right off his back, like so many of myself and other friends. I mean, it's just kind of like the way we're raised, thank God. And it's just really a blessing to know you got a friend like Joe. But to see him work is just awesome. He's just incredible. I love it. I get such a charge from him. So, and I hope you guys all do too. And when he says that. What he said yesterday on the show, that we're going to do everything in our power to make this a better show, and to get us to that level of WRKO and all the above. Get ready, because he will not, and neither will I. And as long as I get to take part in it, you got my word on that. That whatever I can do to continue to make this happen, I will, and we'll figure it out. So he's a true go-getter, and any way I can join in with that. It's just fuel for the fire for me. So, so hopefully there'll be more fun to come. But to get back to the Will Smith story, one of the things that we talked about was the fact that he had the opportunity to he did really well in school, and he came from an average home. I mean, it wasn't he wasn't broke, but he wasn't rich by any means, and his dad worked for a living, and and his dad gave him an ultimatum. And that was, here, I'm going to keep this short. I'll just switch to another video. All right, so hang on. All right, thanks. Hey, and I appreciate you listening. All right, and hopefully, you'll be able to get something out of this. This was really great.